Okay, Dr. Mindy here, and I am so excited that you have come to this video because I am on a mission to help people build a fasting lifestyle and help people become metabolically healthy. So if you're new to fasting, this is the video for you. If you've been struggling with ketosis, trying to figure out which fast you want to do, how do you start, this is the video for you. So I'm going back to the beginning. I'm going to show you how you can go from a place where you've been eating all day, where you've been eating breakfast, to a place where you're in a really good groove with fasting that will reap you some incredible benefits. So for the beginner, this is your video. I'm really excited to bring it to you. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. We have so many videos here for you on fasting. But start with this one. Start here, and then we can start tricking out your fast. We got to get you a really good foundation, and this is for you. As always, if you love it, share it out to the world. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe. I'm bringing you the research. I'm bringing you the steps. I'm bringing you the inspiration. My goal is for you to believe in yourself again, because you were born in a miracle, and nothing will teach you that better than fasting. Welcome. Okay, beginner fasters, or if you've never fasted before, this video is for you. I want to give you a big vision of what's possible with fasting, and then I want to really show you where you start. So the first thing to know is that when you go without food, you start to tap into an intelligence inside your body that most people didn't even know it was there. And every hour that you go without food, what happens is you start to turn on these switches. So I just did, go back and watch the video that I did on the fasting benefits, and I show each hour what switch that you turn on. And if you're new to fasting, don't think about a 3-day water fast. I want to come down and talk about, okay, well, how do you start fasting and how many hours should you go? What does that look like? But I want you to see that there is a big vision here. So let's start with this idea. We have been trained to wake up and eat breakfast. We've been told that breakfast is the most important meal of the day and that we should be eating 6 times a day or longer, that will really speed up our metabolism. That's a myth. I can't find any research on that. If you find it and you have it, bring it to me, but I've searched, I can't find it. The way the human body was made was to have periods where you're eating and periods where you're fasting. So I assume that if you're coming to this video, you're trying to understand how to start to implement that approach to your food. So the first thing to think about is that there is an eating window and there is a fasting window, as opposed to wake up, eat all day. So we're moving you from that mindset, okay? Second thing, I want you to start to learn how to get 13 to 15 hours without food. This can be a very big leap if most of you are sleeping 8 hours a day or at night, hopefully, and you get up, have your cup of coffee, maybe have some cereal or a smoothie in the morning. You've only been going 8-9 hours without food. Now what I want you to do is your very first step is to push your breakfast back an hour. For a lot of people, that's going to be very uncomfortable. You're used to eating at 7 in the morning. You're like, oh, I can't do it. But then what will happen is if you do this just a couple of days in a row, you're going to find that your cells in your body starts to catch on, because this is how it was designed to be. So it wakes up and it's like, I get what we're doing here. You are going to tap into some really cool intelligence. So it knows. It's like this, your best friend that gets it and knows what you're doing. So even though you may struggle when you first push breakfast back an hour, if you stick with that, like if you tried that every day for a week, I promise you after a week, you'd be ready to go to the next step. The next step is, okay, now if you ate breakfast at 7 in the morning, could you start to go 2 hours? So maybe like you're pushing your breakfast back 2 hours every day. Try that for another week. You're now 2 weeks into trying this fasting technique. Your body should be adapting pretty well. And after that 2-week period, you are now ready to think about 13 hours. All the research is showing that at 13 hours, we start to see that you train yourself at that point to move into a fat burner. A fat burner is somebody who is creating energy from fat. And when you move into that state, what ends up happening is you make ketones, your inflammation comes down, your hunger goes away. So start to get comfortable with 13 hours. All of the research, if you guys are coming to my video because you are excited about intermittent fasting, you've heard about the wonders of intermittent fasting. When people say intermittent fasting, most of them mean between 13 and 15 hours. That's usually where the magic is. But it's hard if you go from you've only been going 9 hours without food or 8 hours of food to just jump into 13. So do that first 2-week training period where you start pushing your breakfast back. And after 2 weeks of that, now you're ready for 13. And then what I want you to do is every single day, I want you to get used to either skipping breakfast or you're going between 13 and 15 hours without food all the time. So most of us in our Resetter Collaborative and in our academy, we've just given up breakfast. We just don't eat breakfast. I have some people who don't eat dinner and they love breakfast and they've decided to give up dinner or they decide to eat earlier. You can choose which path works best for you. This is a lifestyle you do on a regular basis so that you start to access things like growth hormone. Growth hormone kicks in when you start to go 13 hours without food. Research is showing that it can kick as high as 1,300% more growth hormone on a regular basis when you are fasting 13 hours. Growth hormone stops after 30, and you need growth hormone to slow the aging process down, and you need it so that you can burn fat. So now you're on the 3rd week of trying this intermittent fasting thing. You're finding your groove with 13 hours. And then my next question is to you, can you start to just have a range of 13 to 15 hours every day? This is going to be your fasting window. You're going to be somewhere in between 13 and 15 hours. Once you get into that rhythm, you will start to make ketones. I highly recommend, if you want to learn how to do this as a lifestyle, that you get a blood sugar and ketone reader so that you can start to look at what your ketones are as you are starting to fast more. Ketones, what are they? They are an indication that the body is now burning energy from fat, not from sugar. You've heard probably on my other videos, you've heard me talk about metabolically flexible. You know, many of you know that I'm on a mission to teach people how to be metabolically healthy because it's so important for the immune system. And one of the signs that you are metabolically healthy is that you are making ketones. And how you can measure ketones is on one of these little readers. Our favorite is Keto MOJO. If you just put Keto MOJO in the comments, we will send you the link so that you can easily order it. You know that you are in a healthy state of ketosis when your reader says 0.5 and above. We also would encourage you to start measuring your blood sugar. You know you're in a healthy place of blood sugar when your blood sugar is between 70 and 90. So if you are new to fasting, these are the initial measurements you are looking for. If this is literally like your first time ever understanding fasting, just stay there. I got a lot of fasting videos here. We've got 7. I've actually just added an 8th fast that I'm teaching my community. But for you, because you're brand new to fasting, all you're going to do is this first step. Once you do that first step, now we can start to teach you how to do some of these more advanced fasts. But for the newbie, let's master this. Let's master 13 to 15 hours. So let me just recap for a moment. First week, you're just pushing your breakfast back an hour. Second week, you're pushing your breakfast back 2 hours. By the 3rd week of intermittent fasting, you're now looking at mastering or getting comfortable with 13 to 15 hours on a regular basis, and you're reading your blood sugar reader on a regular basis. I think the best time if you're new to fasting is to look at that blood sugar, take a measurement right before your meal, right before you eat this meal. If it's at 15 hours or 13 hours, just look at it right then. And Is your blood sugar between 70 and 90? And are your ketones over 0.5? And if they're not, I wouldn't move on to the next fast yet. I would just get comfortable with that and watch your blood sugar and your ketones. So again, I am always I'm really trying to get the whole world into fasting because the body is a miracle. And this video is for you guys that are new, and I want to make sure that you do this in a really smart way. A couple things to know about our community here is that once a month we do different types of fasts. So you can join me in my Facebook group called the Resetter Collaborative. We post it here on the community page. So we have a lot of engagement. We have over 200,000 people across our platforms that are fasting together every month. If you really want to dive into keto and fasting and learn how to customize this and figure it out for yourself, because everybody's path is different, then join me in my academy. Just put Resetter Academy in the comments and my team will make sure that you get a link and that you join us there. But this is mind-blowing. This will change your health. So I'm so happy you've come to this video. I'm so excited for you to understand just how miraculous your body was made to be. And let's just roll up our sleeves and start fasting together. So as always, you're a miracle, and don't ever give up on yourself because you have been designed perfectly.